video, we have Karen from Rag Order Dublin, who's going to tell us a little bit about her business, which we're in her very interesting studio right now.
So I have a alterations, repairs, dressmaking, upcycling, business which I started about 2 years ago. And so it started out with alterations, and then it kind of went on to a bit more of an idea of like upcycling clothes, a bit more kind of sustainable sort of idea. And sorry. I've done loads of different things like relining coats, and it's really about fixing things that you really love, finding things in charity shops and altering them and stuff like that. So that's usually what people come to me about, the majority of stuff, and also dressmaking as well, which is a smaller part of the business because it takes a very long time.
Like, talking of business, do you get a lot of people off Instagram or?
Yeah, that's pretty much like the majority of my business. Facebook a little bit, but most people are on Instagram, and I kind of put everything up, all my work up on Instagram. And a lot of people that I put, made dresses for people like Louise McSherry and Tara Stewart as well. They're both 2FM DJs. Also Jess Brennan as well, she's another influencer on Instagram, and they would, they'd wear the dresses and I'd get loads of different followers, and then I get loads of requests and kind of requests for quotes and things like that. So it's really organic that way. I haven't advertised. That's sort of advertising really with them.
Yeah, just a tag alone. On an account with a lot of followers.
Exactly, yeah. So I worked in film for 10 years. Started out in post-production as an assistant to a post-production supervisor, and then a post-production supervisor. And then after that moved into production in a commercials production company. For 5 years I worked for two absolutely amazing bosses who I still to this day completely adore, and towards the end of that job I sort of just really felt the need to do something more creative. I'd actually, for my 30th birthday, my friends had gotten me a voucher for the Grafton Academy to do a pattern drafting and dressmaking course. It was an evening course, and when I did that, it just spoke to me so much, and I was like, oh my god, this is so, I love this so much. So I would bring my work into work, because sometimes it would be quiet in the production company, and my bosses saw me doing this, and they always saw me wearing all these mad clothes and stuff like that, and just being really, openly creative. So they were really supportive when I told them that I was thinking about moving into costume, and they gave me time off to do work experience in big production. There was a big production called Penny Dreadful, so I worked on set there, and then got some paid work from that, and then it kind of went on from there. Was getting more paid work, worked in Vikings and Badlands, and a couple of other productions, small films and things like that in the costume department. And then film had sort of run its course for me. I was a little bit sick of the uncertainty of it, because you'd have
go on a contract basis.
Yeah, exactly. So I went from full-time job to being crew, so it was all contractual, and you had a job which was certain one week, and then they were like, oh, we don't need you, so it was just the way it went. It ebbed and flowed, and it was just too uncertain for me in that way. And I also just like the idea of working for myself. I think my dad used to own his, he was a businessman, owned his own businesses and owned like shoe shops, and I grew up surrounded by that and seeing that, and as stressful as it was for him, I think it sort of instilled in me something that I just wanted to work for myself and have my own thing, and then also be in charge of my own creativity as well. So I started this 2 years ago, and I started it out as a alterations and repairs, just like literally fixing holes in jeans and taking up hems, which I still do, but it sort of just changed as the time went on, and people were asking me to do more things, and then I started realizing that there was kind of a different side to things, and then there's this whole kind of wave of sustainability, which I totally really speaks to me. You know, I'm not 100% sustainable because I use fabrics that, you know, aren't. It's very difficult to get sustainable fabrics in Ireland, but you know, there is a certain aspect of my work which is I would consider sustainable, in that like I will upcycle clothes and stuff that's bought in charity shops I can change into, you know, like I made something for Tara Stewart, which is it was a full length maxi skirt, and I changed that into a top and a skirt. So obviously this is where I keep everything.
Yeah.
And this is something that I was talking about earlier on to you, which is a dress.
Can I hold something?
Yeah, it's a dress which I actually I'm currently turning into a top and a skirt.
Gorgeous.
So that was a full length dress, which I can show you a photograph later.
Yeah.
But you just have to believe me, the photo was a full length dress. This is another one as well, which is just basically making it slightly bigger as well. Something I can do because there's a lot of stuff that people come to me with stuff they bought in charity shops.
Yeah.
And it mightn't necessarily fit them properly. It's either like take it in, or I can let things out. I can actually add fabric to things to make it bigger.
Is it hard to find a match?
It's not even. Sometimes it's not even a match. It's just a complementary fabric.
Right.
Do you
So
know what I
you
mean?
just need to kind of use your imagination with
Yeah.
how you might bring something out or something like
Exactly. So like that there is a fabric that I added to this kind of Asian sort of style dress, and I added. It sort of complements it, you know. This is a coat that I completely relined. It's a really nice COS coat.
It's gorgeous.
And the lining was completely shot and it was black. And then I also put velvet on the collar because the client was saying that the wool on it was itchy. Yeah, so I added that to it. That's just another little top which I turned into a jacket for someone. So that I just split that down the middle and move the belt around.
What's your favourite thing that someone will come in and ask you to do?
Probably embellishment. I love that. I just love, like, when people say to me, just do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
That's
the ideal.
That's the ideal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously you've got creative freedom. Now I will always kind of say to people, like, I'll check in with people.
Just in case
Yeah,
you go a
send them
bit
kind of
nuts.
images, exactly.
Yeah.
But generally, if people ask me to add, just go wild with it. That's really my favourite.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, I think it's the same with anyone who's kind of creatively minded. If you're told to just like have free reign,
Throw
then-
the reins off.
Exactly. Yeah.